Gotham Season 2, Episode 3, Strike Force. Now, after the death of a really awesome character, it was pretty crazy to see, like, where are they gonna take Gotham now that they've killed off Jerome? Like, he was really fun. He wasn't the Joker, but he was obviously based off of the Joker, and in a weird cycle of things, he inspires the Joker in this universe. So it was like, alright, that character's gone. He was the fun character that was just silly and all over the place. Where the heck are they going to go now that they've killed that guy off? And in this episode, we see quite a few different things take place. Like, we knew that there was a new captain coming in, so we have Captain Barnes. So we have that storyline of this new character coming in. Then we have Galavan actually threatening Penguin because he's kidnapped his mother. So now we have that as well. And then that leads to Penguin killing off Galavan's competition and pretending to attack Galavan so that he can go for mayor, and so that he can go through this really insane plan to wipe out thousands of homes and build like this just giant like little skyscraper section, I guess. I don't know. It's like we have the downtown of Gotham, and then he wants to build like just another section and just be like, you know what, these are my skyscrapers, they're better. And that's pretty much what his plan is, to get his family name out there because they helped build the city and yet they were forgotten. So it's a pretty crazy episode on both sides of the fence, because we have Captain Barnes, who does not F around. Like, I love this character. I did not think I would love him as much as I did, but this is an awesome character. Like, he came in, and they had the scene from the trailer, like, his very first action is just throwing the chair down. And I was like, okay, yeah, he got everyone's attention. Yeah, he's a bit, rough. He's tough with people. But then it was like, alright, everyone that, if you feel, if you're ashamed and stuff, then, stick around. Like, if you actually feel ashamed and you want to do better and protect not only the GCPD, but all of Gotham, you actually want to do that, then stay here. And then nobody leaves. It's like, oh, some of you are lying to yourselves. And he calls out the cops who actually do all the illegal stuff. And he's just like, bribery, this and that. And he's like, everybody fire. And then he arrests the one guy who talks back to him. And I was like, this guy is freaking amazing. So that was awesome. And of course, it wasn't hard, the military thing. That, like Gordon said, it's like, who would have guessed? But that was really cool. And then he has his plan to create a strike force. It's like, how do, you're going to be my second in command, which I thought it was awesome that Jim it was like, you cause certain issues and stuff, you kind of fight back a lot, and you go out on your own, but you get things done. From now on, you aren't going to be on your own. You can be my right-hand man. And so why don't we get recruits straight from the academy, people who haven't been corrupted, people who have this sense of justice and that actually care about this city and want to truly protect it. We will have them, and we won't have to wonder, are they corrupt or are they going to turn on us, because we'll have gotten them before any of the craziness of Gotham has. So I love that idea. We get an actual strike force. We get, I believe it was 4 or 5 members from this new team. So I'm assuming we'll get to learn a lot more about them and their personalities. They may or may not become main characters. I feel like they would, because it's a strike force. I feel like they're going to be in the show, like pretty much every episode. Like, we have Captain Barnes who's like, you can't go out on your own anymore. So he's going to make sure Jim doesn't do that type of stuff, aside from, of course, the ending with Penguin in this episode. But he's not going to let him go out on his own, and he's going to have this team on Jim. And so it's Jim, Bullock, and then this strike force. So I think we're really going to get to learn about these younger characters and who they end up becoming. I don't know any of them from the comics, not that I could think of off the top of my head. I'm sure I've seen them somewhere, if they do exist in the comics, maybe from like the 90s cartoon, possibly the Arkham games, maybe, but none of their names, rung a bell or anything like that. So if they are characters, they're of course side characters that I'm not familiar with. But I feel like they, it would be a wasted opportunity, especially with them being, young, uncorrupted cops. Because Jim, well, at this point, technically Jim is a little bit corrupt by accident. and sort of not by accident because he chose to sort of pay that debt for Penguin. But we have these much younger characters who aren't familiar with the world of Gotham, and like even at the end after the one girl was shot, you know, they were kind of joking around like, man, like, you know, I was hit, but you know, hit in the vest, like it was crazy. And Bullock kind of tells him like, you shouldn't joke about near misses because the next one could go right in your eye and you're done for. So I think it would be pretty cool to see this dynamic of these brand new recruits coming into Gotham, and we also got to see the cops actually use more than handguns. So that was something new because I don't think we've ever had that outside of Jim possibly taking like a machine gun or shotgun from some of the enemies in the show. The cops they don't, you know, go full force, and it's like, oh, we got machine guns and stuff. Everyone always just has a handgun. So that was pretty cool. I enjoyed getting to see them actually have like an APB vehicle. They had an armored truck. They all got out with vests and machine guns. So that was kind of cool. Or assault rifles, to get technical. But it was fun. It was actually exciting to see that. And I was like, that's really cool. Hopefully we do get to learn a lot more about these characters and they stick around, because it seems like it'll be a wasted opportunity if they don't. So I definitely enjoyed that. I like Captain Barnes for sure. He's really tough on people, but he's pretty funny. Just, you know, just watching him do that, it was entertaining. The only thing that was weird, and I guess it wasn't weird, it was just the only thing I didn't like about him was after he creates the strike force and, you know, it surprises Jim, and he's like, you know, like, yeah, we kind of need it, but these kids, they're basically kids. They're just, you know, brand new recruits fresh out of the academy. Them facing these certain things of Gotham at their age is dangerous. And Captain Barnes was just like, well, what do we have to lose? And the first thing that was in my head was like, well, lives. Like, their lives. Like, these young kids' lives. That's what you have to lose. So that was the only thing I didn't like. And that just, it perfectly fit his personality, to be completely honest. But it was a little harsh. It was like really the harshest thing. It was like, huh. He basically says he doesn't give a crap. Like, what do we have to lose? And it's like, well, in the line of duty, your life. So it seemed like he just didn't give a crap there. But other than that, it was just like, fix the city, full force, very hardcore, tough love sort of style. And I like his character from this introduction. So I'm excited to see how all that stuff plays out. We had, of course, like I said, the stuff with Theo and Penguin. And Penguin is kind of doing his thing, and he finds out that Theo is the one who did the Arkham breakout. He finds out that they have his mother, and, you know, he just wants to kind of do his own thing. Like, I don't have a penchant for destruction. I kind of just want to keep on keeping on and keep things peaceful. And then Theo's like, well, I have your mom, basically, so you do what I say. So Penguin's in, like, a really crappy mood, and based on the preview for the next episode, he says, he's like, oh, I understand who the real boss is now, which is very interesting for Penguin, that they're kind of making him, or at least putting him temporarily in this position where he has to be, like, a sub-character to someone else again. I kind of like that idea, because it's going to bring out, again, like, a very dark side of him. He's kind of in the lap of luxury right now. And then we have Theo coming along and saying, like, well, we have your mom, so do as I say. I'm the boss again, and you're, like, my peon, so welcome back to that lifestyle. And I don't know how that's going to play out. I don't know if they're going to actually find his mom in the next episode, or if it's going to take 2 more. But he was so pissed by the end of this episode. I loved it. It was like, especially when he had the scene with Jim. He's like, as soon as Jim comes in, he's just like sitting there in the chair. He's just like, this is not the time right now. Like, my mom is missing. I got this jerk forcing me to do stuff I don't really care about and don't want to do. I don't want to kill these random people because it's not really going to help me. So he's in this crappy situation, and then, you know, Jim comes along. It's like, what the heck are you doing? He can't say anything because he doesn't want his mom killed. And then he kind of has to play a card up there. He doesn't really want to play against Jim because he does actually like Jim. And it's like, you know, you came to me by yourself. You aren't going to do anything to me because you don't want your captain to find out that you killed a guy. And he had to play a really tough card. And, you know, even in the last episode when Penguin was talking to Bullock, it's like, Jim's safe. There's no problem there. And he definitely doesn't want to burn that bridge. He does like Jim a lot. So it was crazy. It was like he had to play out that card and kind of push him back because he's in a tough spot right now. Forced to kill these people he doesn't want to kill so that he can save his mother. And they had a crazy scene when he went in and killed the first woman. And I actually like the outfit they kind of gave him. Like, it was really just like a hat and the bandana, but for some reason that just looked really cool to me. But he goes in and he just destroys, he kills that woman, and then they kill the other guy, and they send Zaz after him, and he's just like dual wielding his pistols, and he's just like shooting people like a Terminator. And I love the scene when he's going against the strike force, and he's like, he gets pushed back to that final car, and he was basically like, alright, I'm done with this. And then he just gets up and he's just walking and shooting like one at a time. So he's not even just like rapid, it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he got shot, I think it was in the leg, or maybe it was in the stomach somewhere. And he was like, oh, that's he was just like unexpected, and then just like basically shot a hydrant for cover and took off. So, you know, it's a very interesting position. I don't know what Penguin's going to do in this next episode. And I know they showed the scene where he's like, I understand who's boss now, but obviously he doesn't care about Galavan's plan. And he probably doesn't want it to happen because it's more just disruption, you know, for the whole city. Like the stuff with Jerome, with him going crazy, it messed up everything in the city. And then Theo wants to basically destroy a giant chunk of the city and rebuild that as well under his own name. So more chaos is coming to Penguin's underworld and the other people that he deals with. So I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but I'm really looking forward to it. I am seriously excited about it because it's going to be another dark side of him, and that's what I'm looking forward to because it's Penguin. We know he's going to come out on top over Theo. The real question is how. Like, does he expose Theo, or does he just flat out kill him? Like, what happens to put Penguin over Theo right now? Because that's kind of where things are going. Like, how does he come out on top of this and screw Theo over and get his mom back and get things back in order for him? So, looking forward to that. Theo also meets with Bruce. Not too much there. It's just it seemed like it was nothing. Like he just wanted to meet him. But then we have the preview. It's like he's talking to some random person and like a hooded person in a cloak and everything. And it's like now he's trying to take Bruce for something. So it made this episode a bit more important. And I think he's using the girl to get to Bruce. And I'm sure it's not like his step niece, or I guess just his niece in general. Technically, it wouldn't really be a step niece, but his niece. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to take place or what. But he's going after Bruce. He's trying to get him. We had the scene, probably the best scene in the whole episode, with Alfred and Selena, because he slapped her, and it was just funny. Like, you know, they did like a super Matrix flip with her too. They did like the sound effects and everything, but she kind of insults him, like, you know, I'm not waiting for anybody, that's your job. And he just slapped her in the face. I was just like, damn, like, he slapped her right in the face. Like, I didn't know why he did it. And then, of course, he said it was for his friend. And I was just like, holy crap, he just slapped her straight in the face. And I kind of can't wait for my girlfriend to see this episode because she just recently saw the last episode. So she's kind of pissed off and doesn't even want to watch it anymore because they killed off Jerome. But I kind of can't wait for her to see this because she honestly hates the Bruce and Selena stuff, but I think she might love that scene just because Alfred slapped her in the face, and it was just funny to me. Like, I don't mind their storylines. I just thought that was hilarious. Like, it was out of nowhere, and he just slapped her in the face. I was like, what in the world just happened? And then I was like, okay, it's for his buddy, but it was still really funny when I didn't know the context, and he just slapped her straight in the face, and then basically was like, get the F out of here. So I liked that scene. It was funny. And then all the time he spent waiting for Bruce, and it's like, oh, like, what are you doing? Here are your clothes. Switch and run home, and it might take you 2 hours. And, you know, like, you wanted to train, so here we go. And then he leaves them and has Bruce run home. So that was pretty crazy. I kind of would have liked to have seen Bruce actually get to the house as well, just to show the ending of that where he's, like, dead tired, but he's still fighting to go on. But it was kind of just like he ran, and then that was it. And then they did like the dinner scene, and they kind of went to that, and it was like, meh. That was it. It was really no like end to the training of him actually doing all the running and everything. It was just the beginning of it, and then like did he feel accomplished? Did he not feel accomplished? It was just like he did it, and that was it. Dinner time. So I would have liked to have seen that, but it wasn't that big a scene anyway. It was just another funny moment. Not as funny as Alfred slapping Selena, but still pretty funny. It was like he waited, and then it's like, oh, hold on, you're training. Here you go, run home. Hour and a half, 2 hours. So I like that scene. It's pretty funny. Of course, the final story being Enigma in this episode was pretty surprising. He had like really minor moments and stuff, and of course we had the split personality thing, and this was like the first time where his like cool side kind of took over. It was still his nerdy side that did it, but he went to Kringle, who we find out her name is Kristen. So I thought, of course, her name is Kris Kringle. But he goes to her, and it's like, he gives her letters like, dinner tonight, this time, this place. You'll enjoy it. And then he's gone, and that's it. It's like, holy crap, he finally did it. And, she was excited and stuff, and so they meet. Then they have, of course, the scene where they talk about the other cop that he killed, and he almost screws it up. He's like, I'm glad he's dead. And it's just like, oh, what is he doing? I completely forgot that the note even said that he just left town. So even before I was reminded that everyone else thinks he just left, even without that, just saying I'm glad he's dead is an issue in itself. So I was like, oh my goodness. And then she was like, well, he's not dead, he left town. And I was like, oh, I forgot that that's what she thinks. And that made it like a million times worse. But ultimately, it worked out, and for some reason, TV style, it just worked. Like, even though he totally said the guy was dead and had a terrible recovery, it was like, it's okay, I'm sure we can, you talk to yourself, stronger version to keep you in line and stuff like that. I'm sure everyone has that, which they don't, because not everyone's crazy. But I know what she meant when she said it, like, you just kind of keep yourself in line, you toughen yourself up in certain points. And it's like, well, that worked out for Riddler. Who knows what that means for them having a relationship, or his split personality thing, how that's going to play, come into effect with their relationship. But good for him. It's nice that he finally, got to be with a woman that he's admired for an entire season. He kind of fell in love with her, and she's totally like despised him pretty much and just completely ignored him. So he kind of has the woman of his dreams now, so that's good for him, with it being Riddler, and of course with him having this crazy split personality thing. I don't know what that's gonna mean. You'd think it would be normal, because the whole thing was like, just you saved her life, just get what you deserve, get a date and be with this woman that you like. You think that would be the end, and it's like, all right, we got the girl, we got what we wanted, things are great. But we all know that something else crazy is going to happen. Either she's going to get even closer to the truth, because like the nerdy version of him is going to screw up and say something stupid again, or she's going to get bored with the relationship maybe, and then that's going to be it, and he's going to go crazy, and then he's going to kill her. Because I think that was the first thing I thought even in the last season, like, oh, well, he killed that cop. If he ends up with her, he's going to end up killing her or something. And even before he killed the cop, I thought he was probably going to kill her first. So I still think that might happen. I still think he might end up killing her, because she might break his heart or something, and that's going to make him snap. I still think that that's how they're going to play the Riddler. But that could, they could save that until season 3 maybe, because now that he is with her, that could be the new dynamic for his character, dealing with this split personality while being in the relationship, because it's not as simple as, we got the girl, no need for the split personality. There's going to be something else that keeps that other, sort of cooler personality around. But I'm excited for it. I actually really like this episode, because I love the Captain. That was without a doubt my favorite thing. I also loved Alfred slapping Selena. If I can find that as my thumbnail, that's going to be my thumbnail, because that was just funny. But lots of great moments. I definitely enjoyed it. We got like a cool little shootout scene. We have Penguin losing his mind. That ending scene was pretty cool. You know, we got Butch. I believe I mentioned that, but I'm not sure. But we got Butch in this episode, which was awesome. He had an actual focus. So it was cool to see him. He's still a little off. So, you know, it's there, like it was noted, but he's still under that weird mind control. He has to do whatever Penguin says, but it's still a little bit off. But they did have a funny moment when he's like, you know, you don't know me. Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy or something? I like that scene because that was just really funny. He kind of just, it was just different from his normal personality. He just kind of instantly like got on went on the offensive. So I was like, that was just funny because it was like just this random woman. It's like, you don't know me. Why are you looking at me like that? So I like that scene, and him, the way he acted with the man and the woman when Penguin killed the first sort of opponent to Theo for the mayor race. That was pretty funny too. It's like, you know, just think about clouds and stuff and just be nice. And just, you know, take yourself away from this. So that was really fun too. But overall, I think this was actually a surprisingly good episode after, you know, what they did. It was definitely better than I was expecting. It was definitely really fun with the new captain. So definitely looking forward to that. Don't know what's going to happen with the Penguin Theo stuff, but very excited to see Penguin go like super dark and figure out, you know, how do I get to my mother and take this guy down who's pissed me off. He kidnapped my mom. We all know how Penguin is with his mother. He doesn't give a crap. He might go through with the plan up to a certain point. As soon as his mother's safe, even if Theo becomes mayor, Penguin's probably going to kill him. Like, just period. Like, oh, my mom's here. You are all going to die now. I feel like that's just pretty much how it's going to play out. But looking forward to this next episode. This was actually, like I said, after what they did with Jerome and killing off a really awesome character, it was like, where are they going to go? But this was a really great episode. I certainly enjoyed it. Can't wait to see, you know, what they do with the captain and, you know, how things continue with his character. And if he does find out what happened to Jim, that'll be interesting too. But I want to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I want to know what your guesses are for what's going to happen between Penguin and Theo. Because, like I said, we know that Penguin is going to come out on top. It's Penguin. He is, you know, they might call this season Rise of the Villains and all that, but it's going to be Penguin. He is going to be the character that is the villain for the entire series. It's going to be Penguin on top. And then, you know, we will always have Riddler as Enigma for now. And then, you know, depending on how long the show goes for, he'll eventually become the Riddler. But it's like, what's going to happen? Like, I feel like it's going to last for a couple more episodes where they have to work as a team. And, like, Penguin is still, you know, kind of doing the same thing he did with Mooney, where he's going to be kind of working the underground and trying to figure out, how do I do this? How do I do that? And then once he gets that plan set, he's going after Theo and everyone that's, you know, on his side. So I'm not sure how things are going to play out, but I'm really excited for it. And like I said, I want to know what you guys think, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.